evolution chambers. Artosis is all about that. But even Artosis, in this situation, would still have to make a lot of Hydralisks and would end up with this delayed upgrade. So, I mean, looking at this resource counter, if someone just stepped into this game, they would say, oh yeah, Huck, he's at 96 food, Zerg's at 91 food, and they just kind of be like, yeah, it looks like a pretty even game. But we really need to note that if we go to the unit counting station, Zerg has only just barely caught up to Huck, right? Has just one drone passed, when Zerg ordinarily has a lot more drones. And way behind on upgrades. Everything else is pretty much the same as a normal game. There's still a lot of Hydralisks for Zerg. There's still 2 Queens, actively adding more larvae. That range upgrade is still gone on the Hydralisk Den. But a few of those key things have been delayed, and look at Protoss, already almost finished with +2, and Zerg hasn't even started a +1. That's just nifty. I like that very much. And also something that a player, Naniwa, a very famous player, who was an absolute frightening beast in the Zotac games, he really loves using Phoenixes, and he's very, very active with the Graviton beams. For instance, if he even saw a Zergling here by the Watchtower, he would just lift it up and kill it right away. But I'm kind of liking how conservative Huck is being with a lot of these Phoenixes. Just having them dart around like 100-pound white gangsters. And, you know, I really do like this transition by Habit to get the Spire up. Make just a whole bunch of Mutalisks. You've kind of been pinned back. The Phoenixes are pretty good against Mutalisks, but not amazing if you have a lot of them. And Huck is pretty vulnerable at this back door. Too bad there aren't Scourge, because that is an awesome unit. I would Scourge Phoenixes all day. But in the meantime, look at this incredibly fast +1 upgrade. I'm a little disappointed Huck is not getting the charge upgrade for the Zealot. That speed upgrade is probably my favorite upgrade in the game. I love speed Zealots. But either way, this is a very intimidating force. And we even have all these High Templar here. I like the choice to break down this area, because if we're going for some big timing push, we want to be able to freak our Zerg out as quickly as possible and really get in his face. And again, Phoenix is moving around to the backside, easily opening up more windows. So, looks like there are some Mutalisks here. That just still always cracks me up. Just seeing them fly backwards and shoot. And yeah, it does kind of make Huck move back a little bit. I don't think Huck was quite prepared for these Mutalisks at this point. And by the way, this is something that I think will happen naturally over time. These are clearly, oh my god, he has Mutalisks cannons. You know, these aren't well-planned, well-thought-out, well-timed cannons. These are just sort of, well, I guess I have to make cannons so I don't die sort of plays. And I think that these sorts of timings will come, just sort of surface over time, and perhaps players like Huck will get 1 fewer gateway, because right now, I mean, 7 gateway, oh no, 8 gateways, geez. A lot of gateways there. Just might want to cut back on one of those and get some cannons, because that transition's very easy for Zerg. And look at that 1 Guardian Shield. Look at this very, very nice lean army. 1 sentry that has enough energy for another Guardian Shield. Just 1, and it covers the whole ball. And we have these Templar here. For Storm, obviously that's going to be good, and even if we look at their energy, most of them have 1 or 2 Storms. Yep, there's a 2 Storm Templar, have a good bit of Zealots, good mix of Stalkers, and it's all very well placed. I would actually prefer these Zealots to be on the outside, Mutalisks kind of getting in there, but the usual play by Protoss is that pulling back, clustering up the Zerg, and getting some good Storms off. Probably could have fought a little bit better. Hey, if you had Zealot leg speed, you could be even more aggressive. Yeah. But then just reinforcing with Zealots and Templar. Very easy, cheap way to reinforce that army. Very, very cool. And now Huck, by miracle, right, has been able to go for Phoenixes at the start of the game and do so much damage that he's hit a pretty impressively strong point in the mid-game. Now, I just want to point out, once these Phoenixes start moving, as I'm actually going to speed this game up just a little bit. There we go. If we look at these Phoenixes, look at the kill count on this. 3 kills, 6 kills, 7 kills, 8 kills, 0 kills. Alright, so that's what? 15... That's about 25 kills between all those units, and those are all Overlords and drones. Huge damage being done by those Phoenixes. Just great. And Mutalisks trying to poke around. Zerg, this is a very late 3rd expansion for Zerg. Look at him, he's up at 150 food. I mean... And again, ooh, I love the creep tumors. I love how actively he's spreading that creep forward. But still, it's really, really late. And he's still at 0-0. Made 2 evolution chambers, but hasn't quite gotten both of them going. And in the meantime, we already have +1 shields getting upgraded from Huck. And look at these Phoenixes just tracking everything down. Oh my god, that's so awesome. A little bit of runaround action, just kind of showing off a touch. being very, very, very versatile throughout this game. I like the transition to Mutalisk. Could have done that a little bit harder. Was a little bit weak with that. Zerg kind of came back to this Roach Hydralisk mix a little bit too eagerly, I think. But we are going to speed this game up a little bit, so that way we can actually end by a reasonable time. And still being more and more active with these Phoenixes. This is something that's a little bit interesting about the Phoenixes, is that they are stronger the longer the game goes on, because they can cover so much airspace that if you have a Zerg that it's spread all the way like this, there's so many points that are available for attack. So this makes me really think that if your Phoenixes aren't doing great work in the early game, just try to keep them alive and just keep using them. Be aware that they're going to get stronger and stronger as the game goes along. Or you can just skip Phoenixes early on, and later, maybe, once you're on 3 bases, suddenly get 2 Stargates and start really making a bunch of Phoenixes. And then you can begin going around and harassing everything. And especially if you're against a Terran, where you want to lift up a lot of those key units, I think that's going to be awesome. So, returning right back to this game, Phoenixes just continuing to make short work of these drones. Look how few drones are in the back here. This is some sick abuse that's going on. Oh, manages to take out one, but still, plenty of damage dealt. Zerg's in a little bit of an awkward situation. Looks like Protoss is waiting just to have observers to be able to, obviously detect things like the Roach Burrow is increasingly popular these days. And look, there's the Roach Burrow on time, almost as if I'd watched this game and prepared in advance. And the expansion's up, but going to the production queue, I mean, one drone being made. I mean, yeah, there's these creep tumors being spread, but I mean, it's just not that many drones coming out here for Habit. I mean, Overlord's coming out. I just think Zerg is feeling like he's under a lot of pressure because he's been having to make units all game long. Hasn't quite gotten that chance to power, and yet again, Protoss is ahead of Zerg in the worker count. Very, very unusual for these late game situations. And there goes the Phoenixes trying to lift something. It looks like they kind of forgot what they were doing and just headed home. But either way, good planning by Huck, trying to move down here to this bottom base while pushing up through the center. And these Phoenixes, oh no, I would have loved to see the Phoenixes sweep back around to that side. But this is, I would call, a little bit weird of a situation. Oh, and look, more upgrading by Huck. Very awesome. This is a little bit weird of a situation. I'm not the greatest fan of the way this turned out. I would have preferred like a really powerful mid-game push, and either Stalkers with Blink or Zealots with Speed would have been ideal for doing that. But this is a little bit just like a strong, slow, muscular army. So once again, notice though that it is very, very lean. One Guardian Shield covering almost everything. There is Storm here, but the Unburrow is able to still do serious damage, and ooh, some Storms going down on his own units. More of these Zealots trying to get in there. Now all of a sudden the Zealots are in the front. Lots of great Storms going there. That's one huge benefit to the Zealot leg speed. The Zealots actually get in the front of the battle instead of getting caught behind those Stalkers. Archon's being made, but they will end up falling. And by the way, in case any of you didn't notice, you can actually push Archon balls. By the way, I rewound to a totally sweet time. Yeah, look at this. You can literally pull your Archon ball back in the retreat. I think this is going to be a really cute tactic. Just like morphing an Archon in your main and just like pushing it forward with your Zealots. For a Zealot Archon army. Yeah, I think that's awesome. But Phoenixes also coming back in here. These Phoenixes are just such game changers, man. The fact that they have been around all game long. And really, it's not the fact that there are Phoenixes just available. It's the fact that these Phoenixes have been active all game long in both offense and defense. They take kind of a long time in order to just become really, really cost-effective units to kind of make up for the investment. But there's just so many ways that you can do it that I just love how it caused this game to turn out. And after some huge battleage, it looks like Huck has barely managed to not lose this expansion up here. Still trying to warp in a lot of stuff, trying to make sure he also gets some Immortals in there. This has been a really, really good army. It's kind of good forge. It's making me really think that perhaps you don't even need to get more than one forge in the way you really needed 2 forges in Brood War. You could get away with one and just chrono boost it constantly to get all the upgrades you need. Very good way to spend chrono boost, because I think a lot of players, I mean, look at this, 100 energy, 100 energy. This Nexus that just finished, now it's stockpiling energy. I think that, again, is what's really going to set good players apart from the bad players are the ones who are good at using Chrono Boost. And now Zerg's trying to desperately find a 4th Expo, but just the pacing feels off for your normal Zerg player. Ordinarily, this would have been so much earlier, but these Phoenixes are just being so awesome this game. Upgrades still behind. Looks like he has upgraded to 2-1. Not ideal. Kind of catching up to Protoss. Here comes yet another huge push, storming the Hydralisks. Hell, storming everything. Who am I kidding? Look at that, just hitting T and just... Yeah, that's the way we storm in Starcraft 2. Who doesn't love smart casting? And you know, whoa, my computer almost crashed. Uh-oh. Come on, computer. Come on. Alright, hold on. My computer, it's dying. It's dying on me. Uh-oh. Oh my god. As of this exact moment in time, is my computer completely running out of steam. Whoa! Okay, now it's kind of coming back. Well, hell. I had all sorts of cool points I wanted to make, but alas.